There's already a lot of conversations about AI and racism. Modern artificial intelligence learns from data, which means that if there are biases and discriminations embedded in the dataset, AI can learn to be biased. And there are already some applications of this. One example is a research that found out that an AI algorithm used in the US healthcare system was discriminating against people of color. It was basically allocating more healthcare resources to white people rather than black people. There's also research in the US justice systems, with AI algorithms more likely to assign a higher score of perpetrating crimes to people of color than white people. There are two news this week that highlight other different risks of AI and racism that we're gonna talk about soon. This week, we're gonna also try a different format where I'm gonna cover the most important news first, and then we're gonna go with a quicker format to try to cover all the other interesting things that happen in tech this week. Let me know if you liked it down in the comments, and let's get started. This thing over here is an AI rapper. What the hell does it mean? If you're confused, bear with me because I don't listen to rap music. So when I found this out, I was also pretty weirded out. So the name of this thing is FN Meka, and it's a product of a company called Factory New. They basically took an AI algorithm who read all the lyrics of rap music and came up with new lyrics. So the lyrics are AI generated, even though probably there was some human being that kind of modified them and edit them a little bit. Then they took AI to also analyze rap music, and it generated new music even though it was rearranged, and so it was a collaboration between AI and people. AI also created the images that you see, and then finally a human being actually sang the words. So the song for now is actually sung by a real human being. Now, the interesting thing is that the 12th of August, these AI rappers signed a deal with Capitol Records. I guess the company behind the AI rapper signed the deal. The AI rapper can't really sign anything. But anyway, just 10 days later, Capitol Records had to cancel the deal. And that's because the black community was really pissed at Capitol Records for this deal. Let's try to understand why. FN Meka, this AI rapper over here, really builds on top of black culture. It uses the N-words, it makes collaborations with other black rappers, real human black rappers like Gunna or Ganna. I don't know how to pronounce it. Again, I don't listen to rap, so sorry, Ganna, if I mispronounce your name. And it's also featured in videos where it gets beaten up by the police. The problem, though, is that the founder of the company, Factory New, is named Anthony Martini, and he's white. So the black community saw this as a giant act of appropriation from somebody who's white and can try to hide his identity behind an AI avatar, but still makes money appropriating himself of a lot of elements of black culture. Now, the project was really successful. It had more than 10 million followers on TikTok, more than 500,000 monthly listeners too on Spotify, but again, Capitol Records had to close this deal because it was effectively cancelled by the black community, so much that the company behind FN Meka had to cancel all the videos they had on TikTok and just try to kind of disappear, basically. And I think that's really fair. And it brings me to try to talk about a concept that I've seen a lot in artificial intelligence, which is the fact that some people, at least, are using AI to cover themselves. It's kind of like an AI responsibility denial, where you try to push forward an algorithm that sings, in this case, takes decisions and does things to cover up who you really are. And it's almost like it creates a fake identity and some protection for people that want to just, I guess, make money without exposing themselves. Imagine if Anthony Martini, the founder of this company, decided to actually sing himself as a white guy these songs. Well, probably people will not be happy. That will be considered cultural appropriation. So this phenomenon that I'm talking about is that he was able to even just try to do this because he used AI to create a barrier, to create some sort of filter between people and himself. And that's a really bad thing that is probably going to be accelerated by these new algorithms we talked about a lot in Tech Pizza, by DALL-E, by Imagen, by Midjourney, which are making extremely easy for everybody to create art and are probably going to evolve so that you create your own avatar as well. I definitely see this technology going this way. So this is another thing that we need to pay attention to. We cannot allow people to use AI as a filter to protect their identity and impersonate others and appropriate themselves of cultures that are not theirs. A new company called Sanas developed an AI algorithm that is capable of changing your accent to make you sound more American. Here's a little demo. This is the sound of an Indian person that is trying to speak English.
Hi, this is Alex from the customer service aid. How are you today?
And this is how the AI will change its voice to make it sound more American.
Hi, this is Alex from the customer service aid. How are you today?
It's a little bit robotic, but you see where this is going. Now, let's talk about why are they doing this and what is their approach. And then I'm going to tell you why I think this is definitely wrong. The idea behind the company is that a lot of call centers are in India, Pakistan, or these parts of the world, but they end up serving American customers. And often Americans tend to be happier to talk to somebody that has an accent like this. And so they actually did some tests and they saw what happens when people with an Indian accent use this AI technology to transform their accent. And they found some pretty interesting results. Understanding was improved by 31% and overall customer satisfaction was improved by 21%, which made these people think that they were actually empowering the call center agent to do a better job, to be understood better, to be taken more seriously, etc., etc., etc. And so that's why they think this is an ethical application. They also say that they build their entire product based on 3 ethics pillars. The first one is individual choice. So this tool is not applied by default by the organization that these call center operators work for, but every call center operator can just flip a switch and decide to use it or not. The second pillar is personal control, which, to be honest, really sounds like the first one. I can't understand the difference. They should explain it better, I guess. And the third one is flexibility. Right now, the system works really well with Indian to American accent, but I want to give the call center operators control over the kind of accent that they want to have, that they want to impersonate, basically. So they actually do say that they believe this is going to improve mental health, happiness, and satisfaction also of the workers. Let me tell you why I think this is not really the case. First of all, there's no really choice for a person to use this tool or not. Imagine if you don't want to use it, but everybody around you is in your call center. Well, if their performance goes up, as the company claims, then you have 2 choices. 1, either use it, or 2, be fired, because you're not going to be able to compete with your fellow coworkers. So personal choice is not really a thing. But I think there's another bigger problem that we need to talk about. If you think about what this product is doing, is it's basically telling you, you are not good enough. What makes you, your heritage, your culture, the way you sound, your voice needs to be covered up for you to be respected. And the only way we can do this is by putting an AI filter between you and the other person. So it's literally telling you you're not good enough. But also it's going to create, I believe, this kind of dependency from the technology itself. Like, if I know that people are going to take me seriously when my voice is transformed, then what happens when I'm on the street and I can't really, just call you and have this AI thing that changes my voice? I honestly think this is going to do really, really bad to the mental health of these people. It's a little bit of a dystopian application that nobody, I guess, likes. But hey, the company proved that this can make money. So I guess this is going to be used unless there's any regulation that is going to stop it. I want to know what you think about this, because I see there could be an argument that, hey, in the end of the day, it's going to help these people be more proactive. A face recognition algorithm for turtles. This is a new project from DeepMind, Google's AI lab, together with Zindi, which is an African data science competition platform. Why they did that? Well, because sea turtles are one element that biologists use to evaluate the health of an ecosystem. And a lot of times, to be able to track these turtles and see how they're doing and see if they're moving around, they put tags that are basically just plastic tags that they put on these turtles, but they're, I guess, uncomfortable for the poor turtle, and they also usually break and they get lost. So DeepMind made this competition. Well, they took a bunch of data that was donated by an African nonprofit of different turtles, and they helped people build algorithms to recognize a turtle by a simple picture. And that's pretty cool, because apparently all the different squares that turtles have on their heads, they stay constant with their life, which means that they can track that turtle along its whole life. Pretty cool. TikTok's parent company Bytes launched its own search engine in China. It's basically like Google, but it has no ads, and it has one kind of creepy feature, which is that it's gonna favor results from the parent company's products, so TikTok and all the other apps that Bytes has in China. It's something you can use just in China right now, so Google can be relaxed for now, but I guess that the same technology is going to be probably attempted to be used in the Western world as well. So it seems like TikTok doesn't want just to destroy Facebook and Instagram, but maybe also even Google. Let's see how this evolves. There's a new chapter in the Elon Musk and Twitter saga. A whistleblower from Twitter came out with some pretty crazy allegations. He said that Twitter doesn't have any serious concern for privacy, for security of their data, so much that it's considered a national threat. Now, why is this important for Elon Musk? Well, because Elon Musk has been trying to pull out of the deal for a while. He cannot really do that because he signed that he was going to buy the company. And the whole bot theory that Twitter has more bots than they always said, it seems pretty hard to prove. But in this case, if the allegations of this whistleblower are true, he can try to say that Twitter is committing fraud by not having any basic security for their data. And if that's true, he can potentially use this card to try to at least delay the process, or maybe even, he hopes, pull out of the deal. Let's see how this evolves. Thank you for following this episode of Tech Pizza. If you liked it, subscribe to this channel and go on tech.pizza, where you can put your email, and every week I'm gonna send you a text transcription of whatever I just said, links to the videos, and even more resources. I hope I'm gonna see you in your inbox. Ciao.